there has been a lot of corruption and mismanagement and mishandling of Lincoln Heights as a community in a whole.
But I would say this is the third phase. The first phase, I would say, is in the 70s. Coming right out of the 60s, I mean, as a young boy, I saw, you know, black people in this neighborhood party. I mean, I grew up down the hill. I grew up here and down the hill. My grandmother stayed on Bills. So with my uncles being young in their 20s and my aunts in their 20s, you know, I saw a party atmosphere, which was, you know, Lincoln Heights was the place. I mean, people coming and going all the time. And, you know, it was as if life was one big party in the 70s. And I saw that, you know, job, they got it doing whatever, but they had everything, you know, and, you know, I saw that until I would say, you know, everyone started to get a little old, and then the 80s came in, and then that second phase, you know, so after that party phase came that, you know, that crack, that whole dope, that crack generation, and that is when this neighborhood started to really transform.
You can't even really add that up to how much it done changed out here. It's wicked out here, man, right now. You know, these cats is potential killers. Not that they probably wasn't back then, but it wasn't about that back then. Back then it was about live and let live.
The worst thing that would happen in Lincoln Heights back when I was growing up, and that's even back in high school, is somebody might get cut in a fight. And it'd be like one of them little bitty ass knives. It wasn't no big knife. It damn sure wasn't no automatic weapon. Wasn't no AKs. Well, it wasn't no semi-automatics. Nothing. None of that. We did these right here. You know what I'm saying? You got your ass kicked if you got your ass kicked. And you fought again. You might win. You might get your ass kicked again. But it wasn't nothing like it is today. We got young folks out that think somebody owes them something. And that ain't no disrespect to anybody, but everybody's responsible for themselves. And if you can't be true to yourself, man, you ain't gonna never be true to nobody.
All these little cats, they don't live off friendship or nothing like that. They live off who a goon. You a goon, I'm a goon, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's go. All right, let's go throw our life away, you know? That's basically what it boiled down to.
Let's go do 10 years in jail, see what it's like.
And guess what, though? It ain't their fault. Because the fault come into they already a product of their environment, being out here. You know what I'm saying? They out here in the zone, ain't nothing for them to do, ain't nobody teaching them nothing, they ain't got no daddy.
When you go with so many years of dope, and I'm gonna say dope because there has to be something to cause, you know, a climate to exist.
That's the biggest problem in Lincoln Heights today, is crack. And I feel that that's everywhere.
You got old people who kind of fearfully come out their own house because they frightened for these young folks.
There's been a few changes in Lincoln Heights. You got your pros and you got your cons, of course. You got your positive and you got your negative. Like I said, rich culture coming out of Lincoln Heights, inspiration and ambitions towards, you know, religious knowledge seeking. Then you got your, you know, your negative when the drugs hit the area. It's kind of like cause a catastrophe.
Lincoln Heights, the reason why it's in the economic situation it is because they got to go outside the community and spend money.
We have what's called urban renewal, and urban renewal was a way to get money for communities to make better housing. Economic opportunities for the community.
But now that's when we had a turnaround in Lincoln Heights. It was when the urban renewal came. See, all where those apartments are, projects down through there, those were all individual homes. And that's when they decided to turn that into urban, you know, for that urban renewal project, they moved all of the families out. And that was a real cause for Lincoln Heights to run into a census problem. That's when they had lost all of their residents.
We see the change in the residents of Lincoln Heights, because once you had the Oak Park and you had Centennial built, that gave opportunities for other individuals from other communities to move in. And so you begin to see a difference in how people felt, you know, and you had metropolitan housing and Section 8. And so sometimes people came because this is where the housing was available, not that they wanted to come. And that makes a difference. If you go where you want to go, you tend to act and treat it and relish it a little differently. And so you began to see where, who are you? Oh, you not from here. You know, that's when it really, oh, okay, well you ain't from Lincoln Heights, but you living in Heights, and we shouldn't do that because they're now here. And so we need to impart to them the importance of you in Lincoln Heights, and this is what we are about.
You know, a lot of people have left, a lot of those values left with it.
Those people brought all their habits. They brought their culture with them.
Well, let's put it this way, we wasn't aware of the evils of society, of the drugs, and probably wasn't very prevalent then, wasn't out in the open. Certainly somebody with guns was unheard of.
One of the major problems in Lincoln Heights right now is ain't nothing to do and ain't no leadership. I don't care what town you live in, somebody got to direct traffic now.
Breaking in houses, we had drugs. In the early time of Lincoln Heights, we didn't have any drug problem.
Well, today you have a bunch of these abandoned houses by that working class, left to hustlers who Section 8 them out, with these mothers who just get out my house, go outside and play, and they're going outside and playing with AKs and dope and whatever else that they can get their hands on because there's no real policing from the family.
I think the parents need to be parents, grow up and start teaching a kid. It's an old African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And that's what we need to do. We need the grown-ups to be grown-ups.
And as black men, we got to step up to the plate because you know just as well as I do, more than 85% of our households in our communities are ran by single-parent households, which is a mother. Fathers aren't there for whatever reason, whether they be dead, incarcerated, or just said, hey, responsibility, I gotta go. Whatever the reason. So we have to step up and give back.
And they hold a lot of weight around here too. No father figure, you know what I'm saying? But right now, times that came down to this. The kids today, they disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't their fault. They don't know to be respectful to the next man, you know what I'm saying? Because they've been watching not only TV, but they've been watching where they grow up at. Everybody out here is supposed to be hard, so I gotta be hard.
There's just a lot of violence, and the violence is a result of the poverty. Okay, so let me scrape the dope off the table. Let's just say it's poverty. You know, that poverty breeds that crime, and that crime in turns, you know, creates your habitation.
Every cat out here hold disrespect for the next cat.
When you truly respect yourself, then and only then will you know how to respect other people.
Instead of trying to unite with a brother, they want to play tough against him because he ain't from where you from, because he don't move how you move. He don't dress how you dress. He don't wear the same color you wear. So I'm going to disrespect him.
If they truly knew what self-respect was, then bro, we wouldn't have the problems that we have today. Because unless you respect yourself, like I said, it's impossible to respect other people. When you cut on the news, what do you see? Our people. Our people. Always getting angry, killing somebody.
Is our people gonna kill each other? Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Because that's our nature. Our nature is to be vicious, and that's what they're gonna do. Use viciousness. And that's what's going on now. A lot of this rap shit, you know, I like rap too, you know what I'm saying? But I like reality rap, you know.
It's a mind-driven condition because once you got the lack of jobs, lack of education, and then you got people that don't have hope, then what do you get? Disaster.
Our people destroyed for lack of knowledge.
I personally think it's systemic. You know, I don't think that our neighborhood is the way it is on accident.
But as long as good men do nothing, evil will prevail.